Since ancient times, humanity has pondered the future and the ultimate fate of the world. The Holy Scriptures, especially the Bible, offer profound and detailed visions on this intriguing and very serious topic. Something has definitely gone wrong in the world, and each new year makes this more evident with so many troubling events starting each period. The general impression is that, since the pandemic in 2020, humanity seems to have come too close to a generalized collapse. Let's better understand this and other premises that may indeed be signaling something much worse. In 2020, you believed that COVID-19 would be fleeting and not very lethal, but now you know you were deeply mistaken. The virus remained among us for 3 years and 3 months, and until the declaration of the end of emergencies, the disease caused the death of millions of people worldwide. Those who think all this is over and that we won't face another pandemic are equally mistaken. There are many other threats in laboratories that you have no idea how serious and fatal they could be. In the first week of January 2024, the Pan American Health Organization released a new epidemiological report focused on respiratory viruses circulating in the Americas. The report highlights the importance of maintaining surveillance of these viruses and strengthening the response capacity of health systems, especially amid the current outbreaks of other communicable diseases. The year 2023 was marked by a significant increase in acute respiratory diseases in the region, driven mainly by the circulation of the flu virus and the respiratory syncytial virus. According to the WC's, Chris Ware, the executive director of health at WSEs, described a devastating scene along 300 km of the Patagonian coast. According to him, 95 of the southern elephant seal pups are dead. The cause, a highly pathogenic version of HIV unknown, the avian flu virus, which exterminated at least 17,000 specimens last year. The microorganism's advance on mammals has alarmed specialists who fear a massacre in wildlife and a potential risk to humans. Recently, the disease was identified for the first time in elephant seals and seals on South Georgia Island, a subarctic region. Until then, no other mammal in this British territory, located south of the Atlantic Ocean and 1,000 km from the Falkland Islands, had been infected. Last year, there was an outbreak among brown gulls, seabirds endemic to the region. Meanwhile, at the other end of the world, an unprecedented notification emerged at the end of last year. A polar bear classified as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature's Endangered Species list was found dead in Alaska, a victim of avian flu. In an interview with the Alaska Beacon newspaper, Bob Gerlach, a veterinarian from that state, confirmed that this was the first recorded case of its kind anywhere in the world. He also warned that it would not be surprising if new species were affected by the highly pathogenic microorganism. To understand more quickly and easily all these signs, we are facing difficult times when prophecies are coming true, but many do not perceive what is happening around the world. For this reason, I decided to offer a gift to all subscribers of the channel, a digital ebook, The Secret Behind the Holy Bible, so that you can download it immediately. It is in the first pinned comment. In this book, I reveal all the secrets of biblical prophecies that will shock you. Don't waste time. Click on the first pinned comment because we have only a few units available, and it will soon be taken off the air. Access it now and secure your digital book. Well, leaving the animal health department, let's move on to other events, as everything indicates that 2024 will be a remarkable year. Dozens of elections around the world, ongoing conflicts in Russia, Ukraine, and Israel, Gaza still unresolved, and more milestones expected in virtually every sector of life, from global temperatures to space exploration and artificial intelligence. There is a lot going on. Do you remember that in August 2023, one of the Hawaiian Islands was almost lost to fire? Remember that? Literally, the cities of Lahaina and Kula on the island of Maui were almost entirely scorched, taking hundreds of lives with them. The terrible fire raised various hypotheses and conspiracy theories without discovering the real cause. The official verdict was heat, severely dry weather, and strong winds as the cause. And in Chile, the country faced, now in early February 2024, the same problem that occurred in Hawaii. Described by Chilean President Gabriel Boric as the greatest natural disaster of the last 15 years, the east coast of the country, especially the cities of Valparaiso and Vina del Mar, was hit by a massive forest fire. The incident so far seems to have claimed the lives of 112 people, not counting the missing, who are also in the hundreds. Thousands of homes were destroyed by the flames that swept through the mountainous settlements around the tourist city of Vina del Mar from Friday, driven by strong winds. A regional state of emergency was declared, and a night curfew was imposed. The consequences could be worse than in Hawaii. In South America, it's not just Chile that is experiencing emergency situations with fires. Colombia, considered a humid country, also faced similar situations, becoming the stage for dozens of fire outbreaks in January 2024. A series of devastating forest fires led the country to declare a state of emergency in 2 regions. The flames consumed about 600 hectares of forest in the departments of Santander and Cundinamarca, where the capital Bogotá is located. The fires were fueled by record temperatures associated with the El Niño climate phenomenon and global warming. More than half of the country's municipalities were on red alert due to the fire threat. The news is only slightly better because, in the case of Colombia, the official number of victims is small, despite being an unexpected and unwanted loss for the family of the only victim. Forest fires have become increasingly common and devastating due to a combination of natural and anthropogenic factors, such as climate phenomena like El Niño, climate change like global warming, and human actions. Lightning and other natural phenomena contribute to the start of a fire. And finally, human actions, which besides contributing to climate change, also carry out unplanned burnings, which end up causing an environmental disaster. The year 2024 promises to be very hot and dry in various regions of the planet, including all the Americas and much of Western Europe. This means that events of this nature will certainly repeat in mid-year, with the 4 central months being the most likely period, according to meteorological centers. The year 2023 marked the accelerated warming of the planet. Earth had the warmest year in 150,000 years, and estimates are that 2024 will be no different. Still within the realm of major natural and disastrous events are volcanoes. Currently, there are several active volcanoes on the planet, but some attract more attention for being truly compromising. In Italy, for example, there is Mount Vesuvius, responsible for engulfing Pompeii in the year 79 AD. But the greatest concern among volcanologists is not with it, but with Campi Flegrei, an apparently innocent plain that extends over 200 km across the Bay of Naples and the islands of Capri. Campi Flegrei is a giant caldera, a depression left by a volcano about 2 million years ago. It has now become a supervolcano. Campi Flegrei actually hosts not just one volcano, but several, and one of them started showing strong signs of activity in November 2023, a year in which more than 3,400 earthquakes were also recorded, with 1118 occurring just in August. They were not high-magnitude earthquakes. The largest, which occurred in October, reached 4 on the Richter scale. The problem was the frequency and number of them, totaling 3 times those that occurred in 2022. This region in Italy is home to about 800,000 people, with 500,000 of them in the so-called Zona Rossa, or Red Zone, an area that covers 18 cities where the highest risk of eruption is. Naples, with 3 million inhabitants, is near the eastern edge of the caldera, which means it is not far from danger. According to Carlo Doloni, head of the ENVI, there are 2 possible scenarios in Campi Flegrei. The best one envisions an eruption as mild as the one that occurred in 1983, The other is something like what happened in 1538 when a mountain was formed in the bay. We know that Iceland is a beautiful country, but also cold and, surprisingly, one of the richest cradles of volcanoes on the planet. According to volcanologists studying the region since the tectonic plate theory emerged in the 1960s, Iceland is closely linked to one of these plate meetings. When they separate or come closer, lava tends to rise to the surface. The biggest problem with this type of activity is that it is silent, meaning it doesn't give many prior warnings that it will explode. The volcanic activity near the city of Grindavik is exactly of this type. Recently, between December 2023 and January 2024, one of its volcanoes erupted 800 years after a long nap. It caused no victims, but it is yet another volcano returning to life after many years, and this has been seen in other volcanoes as well. Specialists' concern is that multiple eruptions occur simultaneously, similar to the activity that can occur in the so-called Ring of Fire, which represents an area located in the northern Pacific Ocean, with about 40,000 km of extension from the Andes mountain range to the Philippines. It is considered the area of the planet with the most seismic and volcanic activity, hosting about 80 of the world's volcanoes. Well, leaving the field of natural phenomena, we now move on to the most complex field of all, the human one. We all know that wars are unnecessary, yet historically they have been the way for a country to maintain sovereignty over another. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in an attempt to reclaim the territory for itself, the world has begun to worry again about a possible Third World War. It's not unwarranted, considering that countries like the United States and several others in Europe, such as England, Spain, Belgium, and Germany, for example, felt Ukrainian pains and decided to help the country militarily. Now, if the United States and the European Union intervene in an issue considered exclusive to Russia, the scenario of the Cold War preceding the worst arises once again to haunt the world. To make things even more worrying, Israel was attacked by an extremist group. This, in turn, is even more feared than Russia versus Ukraine, because it involved not only Americans, but also other countries in the Middle East, such as Iran, known partner of the Russians and adversary of the Russians and adversary of the United States. Russian President Vladimir Putin has given constant signs of irritation with the West, even referring to his tactical nuclear bombs and occasionally being prepared to maintain Russian sovereignty. The world fears something called the Tsar Bomba, considered the largest and most powerful nuclear weapon on planet Earth, Putin's bomb. The conflicts, which show no signs of a ceasefire, have also caused serious consequences in the global market. The fact is that the Houthis, a group from a political religious movement in Yemen funded by the Iranians, attacked some cargo ships in the Red Sea. This is worrying not only from an economic standpoint, but also from a productive and logistical one. The ships cannot simply deviate from their course. Yes and no at the same time, because there are routes that cannot be deviated from. And since business cannot wait, the captains and their crew, usually consisting of 25 to 30 men, have to proceed as planned and pray, not to be intercepted by attackers. The Red Sea is one of the main commercial maritime routes in the world, accounting for 12 of movements, according to estimates. This corresponds to more than $1 trillion per year. If these attacks continue, what is already on the edge, the global economy, could take a tumble of incalculable consequences. And speaking of the economy, all this that we have seen so far has really contributed to an almost certain global financial collapse. The pandemic, undoubtedly, was one of the major contributors to economic decline in the vast majority of countries, especially in the poorest countries. Natural disasters have also contributed to billions and billions of dollars being spent. Now, with these ongoing and as yet unsolved conflicts, the trend is that 2024 will go through a frightening financial collapse, according to the British newspaper, The Guardian. According to the newspaper, there has been an explosion of extreme poverty in England, and homelessness rates, as they refer to the homeless there, have more than doubled in the last 5 years. The United States, moreover, faces another internal war against the opioid invasion and a vertiginous growth of people in homeless situations. Truly, 2024 could be a very tough year to deal with. What remains for us is the hope that humanity still finds a mutual coexistence of respect and, instead of envy, admires the success of others and sees it as an example. But what has been observed is far from that. In any case, it is better that we are prepared and ready to face the new challenges. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the content and found it helpful. We would like to remind you that your participation is very important to us. So if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, take this opportunity to subscribe and activate the notifications. This way you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Also, leave your like if you enjoyed the video and share it with friends and family who may also benefit from this content. Your support helps us grow and continue producing quality materials. And of course, we want to hear your opinion. Leave a comment below with your impressions, questions, or suggestions for topics you would like to see in future videos. We are always attentive to the feedback of our viewers to improve and meet your expectations as best as possible. So, once again, thank you very much for being with us. We look forward to seeing you again in our next videos. A big hug, and until next time, goodbye.